Release the hounds.
What is up? What's going on, guys? Trizzle here, tuning in, bringing you guys another great 3-star tutorial. Today, we are going to be going over Town Hall 10 Penta Laloon, guys. As you see, release the hounds. Yes, guys, this is actually not just my personal favorite attack, but actually one of the most strongest attacks under certain elements. There are going to be a couple things that you kind of have to look for, as we kind of figured out with Town Hall 9 Penta Laloon. But as you guys know, it's still extremely OP, and if you can hit those raid objectives, it's going to be something that is very, very easy to 3-star with. Starting off, of course, we're going to be looking at the army and the troop combination. Of course, with the troops, it's going to be 1 archer, 3 wall breakers. I actually switched this up a little bit. I was actually bringing at one point 21 balloons without bringing the minions and the archer, but I have found that it does help with cleanup a lot. So I do actually, I would actually recommend bringing the 2 minions and the archer along with the hogs, and obviously since it is Penta Laloon, you're going to be bringing 4 lava hounds along with the CC hound and the loon. As far as spells go, you're going to be rocking 2 raid spells, of course, max, 2 free spells, of course. You want to get that upgraded as high as possible, along with the 3 haste spells, and then you're going to bring a CC poison. Unless you absolutely know for a fact that the CC is filled with like a hound or something like that, maybe you're in war, in which case then maybe you can just rock 2 haste spells, 4 haste spells, excuse me, because you'll have the additional 4th haste for the CC spell slot. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just getting into the raid objectives. Again, it's going to be very straightforward. Most importantly, starting with number 1, you really need to make sure that you always remember to lure the clan castle, and you're going to be using your heroes for that CC kill. Of course, it's super important to get that out of the way, get that CC dealt with, so you can move on to raid objective number 2, which is going to be using your heroes to snipe the air defense. Obviously, you're going to be looking for bases that allow you to do that. So once you're done killing the clan castle, you're going to line it up, attack on the side of the base that allows you to drop your heroes, so that you can kill the clan castle troops and then snipe the air defense, and hopefully, if possible, snipe the archer queen. Of course, if she's on the outside or right near the air defense, bim bam boom, even better. It's like a jackpot, because it just really makes it a lot easier, because then you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, and it really sets up the 3-star very nicely. Of course, the 4th raid objective is going to be starting your Laloon on the archer queen side of the base, where it's standard deployment. It's going to be 2 hounds per air defense, followed by surgical loons. 2 loons per defense, making sure you save at least 3 to 4 loons for the backside. Of course, if the archer queen is alive, you'll want to drop that poison spell on her if you haven't used it in the CC kill. It's actually very, very effective, and not just slowing down her rate of fire, but also how hard those hits actually are on your lava hounds. And then once the pups lock onto her, the raid spell gets dropped. It actually takes her out very easily. So raid objective number 5, if the archer queen is alive, drop a poison spell on her to slow her down. That brings us to raid objective number 6. Drop your 3 haste spells, because it's going to help your loons speed into the base. Essentially, once you're done dropping your lava hounds, you're going to be dropping your 3 haste spells on the first layer of the base to bring your loons into the core. And then raid objective number 7 is going to be to drop your clan castle hound on the AQ side, so that way it's going to aggro the archer queen on the way to the air defense and provide that additional support. since usually the Archer Queen, if she's up attacking the Hound, it does put out quite a bit of DPS and can work through at least one of the Hounds that you send. That's why you use the CC Hound to support always on the Archer Queen side. Raid objective number 8. You're going to need to make sure that you drop the first free spell on your Inferno Tower. The first Inferno Tower. Very important. I know at Town Hall 10, it's a little bit different from Town Hall 9 because you're going to be incorporating the Inferno Tower, which is why as the 3 haste spells get deployed, you're going to be then dropping your free spell on the first Inferno Tower as the loons converge into the core. And that brings us to raid objective number 8. Make sure that you drop the 3rd and 4th. Well, let me rephrase that. You're going to be dropping your first rage over the core, and then the second rage is going to help continue the pathing for the loons to access the last air defense that should be up. Because what's primarily going to happen is your heroes are going to be responsible for taking out the first air defense. You're then going to attack into basically two air defense, Archer Queen side, 2 hounds per air defense, line of loons behind, surgically of course, haste spells to speed the loons into the first, basically side of the first layer of the base, Archer Queen side, drop the poison, then you're going to drop your free spell on the first Inferno Tower, then you're going to drop your raid spell over the core. Oh, how could I forget the CC Hound? Don't forget guys, you got to drop that CC Hound after you drop your loons, and then make sure that you get that poison spell on the Archer Queen, get that free spell on the Inferno, get your raid spell down over the core, and that actually brings us to the 10th raid objective guys, which is using your second freeze on the second Inferno. Now of course there will be rare instances where using it on the air defense or maybe a wizard tower, farm, Inferno, if it's adjacent to an air defense, you know, every now and then if there's like a single targeting Inferno and you have a bunch of loons coming out of the core, usually you can get a little bit more out of your free spell if you were to go ahead and either freeze the air defense as well as maybe the air pointed expo, or like I said, a wizard farm, as opposed to the single Inferno. But that's where the practice comes in guys, where you do this attack and you get a feel for what's going to be most effective and where you can get the most out of that freeze. But generally speaking, you're going to be using the second freeze on the second Inferno Tower. The 11th and final raid objective is going to be to deploy the backside loons that you saved for the on the side of the final air defense, and then that way you're basically going to create a pincer effect, because all the loons that have come through the core and taken out pretty much the majority of the defenses in the center will now collapse onto the air defense, and then creating the backside with those 1 or 2 loons, those 3 or 4 loons, is what's going to finish up the attack. By this point, it is ideal if you can save 1 loon along with your cleanup, which as you see here is going to be the 2 minions and 1 archer, as opposed to the 21 loon setup. The reason that I do primarily recommend this as your general army is because a lot of times you will find yourself overwhelming a base, and because of that the cleanup is very crucial. So you want to make sure that you give yourself a little bit extra to take out the extra structures, since the loons do move rather slowly. Alright, so that's pretty much it guys. Again, as you know, Penta Laloon is oh so OP. You can dab on your haters all day long, but it's going to start with focusing on those raid objectives. I can't lie to you guys, this army, while it is very strong, you have to use it on specific base. I can't necessarily say that air pointed expos are going to be the be all end all. However, you have to be able to A, deal with the clan castle efficiently, B, snipe an air defense, and or take out the Archer Queen prior to the beginning of your Lalo. If you can set up those 3 elements, the rest of the raid pretty much falls into place. It all makes basically comes from taking advantage of your knowledge of the raid objectives, along with getting a feel for the attacks, making sure that you deploy your spells in the correct order, and understanding the pathing of the loons, so that way you can maximize the effectiveness. So that's going to be it, guys. As you know, I'm going to go ahead and get into a few attacks, that way you guys can see it in action, and you can actually add this to the toolkit, because I know Town Hall 10, you guys are eventually going to get there if you play the game long enough. Alright, so thanks so much. Keep watching, guys, as we get into the actual gameplay, so you can see how this stuff works.
But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I can push it back down if I have to, if you want me to, 'cause we can run. And we can run. The stars they fall all for you. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run?
Yeah. I want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beating her face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump, 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 up in the air. I want you to jump, jump. Like you trying to get stuck in it. In the air. Like you trying to get stuck in the air. I want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you